Hi, I'm Tom Glazer, author of Full Heart Living, and one of the things I discovered right off the bat is that happier people take really good care of their bodies. They move their bodies with joy and they feed it really nutritious things. So I'm sharing some of my favorite recipes that I use on an everyday basis. Here's one I hope you enjoy. So I'm making my minestrone stew. That's my own affectionate name for this. It started with a recipe for minestrone soup, but I decided I liked a heartier dish, so I altered it just a little bit. So of course I'm sauteing onions. This is like two white onions, a couple of medium-sized carrots, a couple of stalks of celery, and a couple of cloves of garlic. You could add a half of a pepper of whatever color of your choice if you like. Once the onions are translucent, I will transfer into the larger pot. You can just do it as a one-pot dish, but I just wanted you to be able to see what I'm doing, so I'm using the lower one here. So I'm transferring the sauteed vegetable base into the larger pot, and I'm going to add a bottle of tomato juice. This is 32 fluid ounces, and I'm just going to add a few spices. So there's a bay leaf, this is oregano, and I just do it by shaking. You could measure, I would say, about a teaspoon or so. A lot of this is to taste. It's a tiny little bit, maybe just a half a teaspoon of parsley, and I like basil a lot with a tomato-based dish, so I get kind of generous on the basil. And you can use fresh basil. Often I do. I just, again, don't happen to have any on hand. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little salt and pepper now. I might add a little bit later too. And this is just going to simmer for 15 minutes or so after I stir it up. And that's step 2. So this has been simmering about 15 minutes, and I'm adding some chopped yellow squash and zucchini, and this could be 2 small or 1 medium of each, and then 1 can of beans of your choice, including the liquid. So I like white beans lately. You could, like I said, you could use any kidney beans would be fine, but these are great northern beans. And I'm just going to stir this up, and then this will simmer for a half hour. Alright, so this has been simmering another half hour, and at this point I'm just going to add a little more salt and pepper, and I'm going to add in a few tomatoes. You don't want your tomatoes to overcook. So these are just whatever leftover tomatoes diced that I have handy. Let's stir this up. And I'm going to remove the bay leaf, just temporarily. I will put it back in because that will continue to season. But here's one of the secret steps that I discovered along the way to make it that satisfying texture that I was talking about, that more hearty stew kind of experience. I'm going to use the immersion blender. Now you could use a high-speed blender or a Cuisinart, and you would just pour out, not more than a quarter. But since I've got this fancy tool, I'm going to use it. So here we have it, and I just want to show you, I took some out earlier so you can see the difference in the texture. This is the immersion blender version. This is the pre-immersion blender version. Nothing wrong with this. It tastes delicious. There's something about having just a portion of it blended like that that just makes it so much more satisfying. Wow. Nutritious, colorful, beautiful food makes me happy, especially when shared with other people. Thanks for watching.